Friends, this week I returned to Washington, D.C. in the wake of a tragic shooting in our nation's capital, one that claimed the life of Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. She was a National Guards member serving in defense of her nation. We pray for Sergeant Wolf, who's still working to make it through. And here in the Capitol's chapel, it reminds us of how important it is to keep our country safe. A particular salute to our Guards, men and women, including those from Iowa who are serving abroad this holiday season. And while they've missed Thanksgiving and will miss Christmas, we know this much is true. We have a responsibility here to help care for them, care for our country. Let's get into this week's review and talk about the things we're helping to fight for Iowa and to protect our nation. This week in Washington, I'm fighting for rural housing. Iowans deserve it, they've saved for it, and we want a pathway for the American dream. That includes being able to afford your first home. Right now in Iowa, almost 40% of renters are spending a third of their take-home salary just paying for rent, meaning they have very little left when it comes to being able to save for the future. And challengingly, across the nation, the average home buying age used to be 20. Now it's nearly 40. As a result, I'm leading legislation to improve rural housing with our Rural Housing Act. This makes sure that USDA gets rid of the red tape, improves the process that has taken up to 12 months in some cases. We want to get that down to under 12 days. We want to expand on the stock that's already available so that we can move towards development, not dilapidation in our hometowns. This is a huge win for America, but it's incredibly important that rural Iowa gets the opportunity to be successful. This legislation makes a difference. As we're here at the heart of the Capitol, we're reminded what's important, what makes America great. It's accountability and responsibility to the constituents who elected us. That's why one of the first bills that I led was to make sure that members of Congress couldn't trade stocks. No member should be serving their constituency while making money on the side. There's 200 million bad reasons why stock trading and insider trading is wrong, because that's how much money members of Congress made last year on stock trades. I've stood up with a small group to be able to say both Republican and Democrat, no more. We're fighting to end stock trades here in Washington and make sure there's transparency for all so that constituents know our first priority is you. I'm proud to fight for this, and we're going to make sure it happens. For so many Iowans, farming's not just part of our heritage, it's a way of life. I grew up helping on the family farm, whether it was doing chores, taking care of sheep, or helping our grandfather during harvest season. But here's the reality. For Iowa's nearly 87,000 farms, 95% are owned by families. Whether it's a first generation or a sixth generation, it's part of the way that we live. And I want to make sure that way of life is kept successful, not only for the families in rural communities, but for our national food security. It's one of the reasons I'm so proud to be leading the Farm Transition Act. Right now in Iowa, of those family farms, most families are over the age of 65. And I want to make sure that new and beginning farmers have a glide path to helping keep that family farm in the family. We are doing that by reducing red tape, increasing the aspect for USDA to expedite loans, and making sure that farmers can get back to the job of farming and less about DC bureaucracy. Iowa, we just left nearly a foot of snow, building snowmen and sledding with the kids to come back to Washington to fight for things that are important, our family farms, our hometowns, and growing America. Now, as we head back into the cold, I'm grateful for all that you do. I look forward to seeing you around town, and good luck, happy holidays as we head into the Christmas season.